What up, everybody? How was all doing? Hope all is well. And if not, hope we get back on track sooner than later. It's like an out there thing, you know what I mean? John was star. You know, I'm always thinking, right? And I also want to have a balanced podcast, so I'm going to switch up my topics every now and then and stuff. Like health situation and how we take care of ourselves, because really taking care of ourselves up to us. You know what I mean? And with information, it helps. You know? And one thing I got to point out, why is there sugar in everything, Literally everything has sugar in it, Why is that? Even honey has sugar in it. Now, they say they have the natural honey, pure, right? But then they have the honey with the additives. But why is there sugar in everything? And if you don't pay attention, it compromises your body. Why is there sugar in bread? I don't know, man. Tomato sauce. Just a few items, like, why is there sugar in everything? Doesn't make any sense, though? Because remember, I know, our health matters. And if our health matters, what we ingest matters. You know? But then again, then you got the sodas and the juices. You know what I mean? Then you got tablet sugar, you got sweet, you got so much, oh my Lord. But that's what the Matrix does. It distracts you and throw you off from what's important. You know what I mean? And what you need to know. Now, my podcast is just to sit back and hold the vibe and bring things back and put things into perspective and really analyze things and look at things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because why is there sugar in everything? In everything you can think of, It's almost like the food industry and the health industries in bed together. They work together. You know what I mean? And if you did go to a doctor, obviously they got their drugs and their situation to make it get better. And they usually, they get one thing better and something else goes off, and now you got to work on that, and that leads to something else off, and now you're all screwed up. You know what I'm saying? But if you take the time to get the understanding and look at things for what it is and see where possible conflicts can come in your life, because we consume stuff for so much and so long, we don't pay attention. All that soda we consume, remember, it's full of sugar. And we just consuming not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And I'm guilty of it. But because I know of it, I try to balance it out with water, try to balance it out with other things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure plenty of people do that same ways. But I'm talking to the one that don't think about that at all. But we all have the choices, and we have to choose. You know what I mean? And the things that we consume, man, that's crazy, I did that video about all that meat. I don't know if you've seen that. One of my walking talks, like early out doing this thing. And I was talking about how can they, the fast food restaurants, right? 7 days a week, morning to night. And they always got meat and food on deck, and their burgers and their sandwiches on deck. 24 hours a day, all year long, every year since they're open. How can they keep up? All this meat, huh? So now, come to find out that they have cloned meat in the stores. You know what I mean? So they grow in the lab. They have the real stuff out there, yeah. They have the fake meat, the replica of the meats. The replicas, what they call that? You know what I'm talking about. The new replica meats that's not even meat at all. The impossible stuff. but it's mimicking meat, right? But yet they have meat to fulfill all the orders at the same time. So now, if you don't look into it, you're not knowing what you're consuming. You know what I'm saying? If you don't look at what you're buying and take the time to look at everything, you know? And even some of the labels in the stores, it's blatant lying to you. Because you know when they're talking about wild caught, ocean this and that, and wild caught, most of the time they're farm raised though. Especially the fishes and the shrimps, lobsters. Most of the time they're farm raised and then they're just bagged up and you know, labels are a selling point. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the Benjis and making their money as a business. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, you read the label as wild caught and it's more natural out in the deep ocean, use your imagination, and you go buy that shrimp. You go buy that salmon. And the whole time it's just farm raised like every other piece. They just want to, you know, different prices. And it plays on you. But at the end of the day, it's how you feel anyway about a situation, you know what I mean? Whether it affects you or not. Because we're so powerful, right? Our imagination and our mind is really in control of our reality at the same time. So when you see the picture, the label of the open ocean and it's wild and it's free, you're like, yeah, my shrimp and salmon is more healthier because they're in the open, eating wild stuff. You know what I mean? Unlike the farm raised, where they're eating whatever the system gives them, all the hormones in them, they growing up fast, get them out there, you know, get them on the shelf. This the system we're in, you know. It's really a matrix and truly. You know what I'm saying? But I really was focused on the sugars because sugar does a lot of disruption to the body, you know? And one of the main things that sugar transforms into fat in the body if you don't use the sugars right that you consume. Because remember, the sugar is like an energy source, and when you consume sugar, you can use that and make it work for you for whatever you're doing at the time and give it an energy boost, per se. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not using that energy that you gain, it turns off and turns into the fat in the body. You already know. You're getting bigger and bigger. You don't understand that. I understand why. But it's the food you're consuming. And when you really look at it, everything, even though it's different and separate, it's not the same thing, they have sugar in it, especially processed foods. Because you know when stuff is processed, that somebody's putting it together. Putting the package together. You know, they have sugars. You know what I'm saying? Then they have all these things to make it last on the shelf. These preservatives. All these sugars. You know what I'm saying? Those processed foods. So we have to just, do diligence and pay attention. Pay attention to what we consume. Balance it off. Make it balance. Get some understanding to it all, which is very vital. You know what I'm saying? And remember, information is a key to this journey that we are all on this life journey. You know what I'm saying? Information is a key to a lot of things. And today on this video, I just wanted to, just spark a conversation about sugar real quick. Because when I'm looking at the bread, and I'm like, why is there sugar in bread? But then I give it flavor. Now, what trips me out is that there's sugar in the honey. Why is there sugar in the honey and honey is supposed to be sweet? But what I'm realizing, there's natural honey and then there's additive sugars in honey. Don't make no sense to me, but It is what it is. We are in the Matrix. You know what I mean? Jano style. But I don't want to make this video too long, y'all. So I'm going to catch you on the next vibration. CLP, you know? It's always love. Peace. Yeah.